You guys ready for this joke?
Yes.
Ant-Man, Batman, Superman, Lakers in 5. Let's go.
Lakers in 5.
Right? Right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doc, let me get it. You know what to do.
Woo.
Yeah! Never doubted him for a sec, not even before the playoffs when Jop and I were saying the last team we wanted to see was the Lakers.
I've never questioned my fandom.
Still never even doubted him. Man!
It's just not something I do over here.
How that series should have went on paper is exactly how it went. Wolves in 5. Fuck the Lakers, flopping ass. Woo! One more time. Let's go Wolves. That was so good. It was so good. It was so satisfying given all the baloney the Wolves were being talked about before the series even started. Before we get to that, Doc, how's your week been?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Nice. Super busy.
Yeah?
Cranking out t-shirts.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, subscribe, follow, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all the above. Check out our t-shirt shop. And why?
Well, because you can get that sweet-ass Lakers in 5 shirt.
Yup.
You can also get a big boy shirt to celebrate the Vikings first-round selection of Donovan Jackson. Or if you want to stay golden, baby, you can stay golden with the Stay Golden shirt for the Green Bay Packers.
Go, Pack, go.
We got a lot of fresh stuff. And it's all awesome. And it's super comfortable at a very reasonable price.
That's right. All you got to do is go to the secondoffice.shop.
Damn right. Secondoffice.shop. Brandon, how was the week?
It was okay. Yeah, it was good.
Was it the best?
Good. No,
That's
but it was definitely not. It was a first office kind of week. You know what I mean?
Also, the Bucks had like the worst first round series possible. We'll talk a little bit about the Bucks.
Ooh, yeah. They pooped out. They pooped the bed.
Also, that post game 5 got crazy.
Yeah, it's overrated.
Anyways, Jop.
Wolves in 5, man. Couldn't get any better.
Damn right.
Unless it was Wolves in 4. That would have been nice, too.
Either way, I woo. Great. Thank you for asking. I had a very good week, too, because of the Wolves. Wolves alone. That will make my week. I want to get right into these dominant Wolves. We seem to have picked up right I shouldn't say right where we left off last playoffs. Where we left off last playoffs was bad. Where we left off last first round playoffs, though, almost and pretty much as dominant. And I would say confidently, if we shot, even a little bit better than we did 4 out of those 5 games, it would have been a sweep because we shot like shit outside of game 1. However, I want to first point to this fact here that for the first time in franchise history, your Minnesota Timberwolves advanced to the second round 2 years in a row. And that's our barometer here in Minnesota. And I don't give a shit because we're doing it.
That's so crazy.
And we have 20. Sorry. And we have 20, and we're doing it off the back of a 23-year-old, largely. So dare I say, second round at least for years to come. Dare I say?
Absolutely.
Dare I say? And this is recency bias, but I hope we keep Julius now. We're never let's not trade Rudy, all that good stuff. But we'll get into it. So go Wolves. Ant, the leader, he has as young as he is, there have been a number of teammates who have commended him on his leadership. Mike Conley told Chris Hine the day the Wolves began practice in preparation for the Lakers that Anthony Edwards pulled the team together and had a message for them. And these are Mike's words, but Mike said, quote, he was just saying how this isn't going to be good enough. What we were doing at that time, regular season, our ability to turn on a switch on and off is not going to be there. And they did that regularly throughout the season. They would look amazing and then they would look shitty. Consistently inconsistent is the term that was thrown out aptly. He continues, so we have to be locked in and ready to go, and it starts in that practice. Conley said Edwards told the team, quote, to have that awareness to say those things at his age is very important, and it gave us a good springboard into the postseason. So he even got 100-year-old Mike commending 23-year-old Ant And that's something because as of last year when we first got Mike, Ant was looking up to him. He has, Jop, you're smiling because it's great. Isn't it just good news? We have a 23-year-old leader who's going to keep us in this position for years. And the question is always if they're going to make the next step, and he continues to make these steps. One of those steps being when the scoring isn't working. Okay, last year he proved he could then step up on the defense and take over defensively, whether he's guarding the team's best player, yada, yada. Now it comes, he seems to fully be managing and facilitating the game and having that awareness, he had damn near 0 turnovers all series. And I know that's not I know it's not 0, but it was very few. And it seemed like every dang play he's making the right read or the right pass. And god dang, for a 23-year-old, holy crap. Jop, talk about Ant.
I mean, yeah, I think even though he didn't shoot the best percentages this series, I think it's
0 for 11 last game. And everyone else was 0 for whatever too. But anyways.
Yet, I feel like he played an incredible brand of basketball. I think he's really taken the next step in his decision making. He's talked about watching film, and you hear him breaking down coverages and stuff in his post-game interviews. It's really remarkable to see. I'm so grateful to have him as a Minnesota Timberwolves man. He brings me so much joy, honestly. He's damn near led the series in minutes. Surprisingly, Luka led with 208 minutes. Ant was at 205 and Brown was at 204 at 40, which is crazy.
Damn.
So much meat on the bone for the whole team. I think Ant shot 33% from 3-point range the whole series. I mean,
wow. Okay, and I'm sure the 0 for 11 didn't help that, but damn, that like compared to 40% on the season, that's something.
Right. I mean, shout out to Julius. He shot 40%. Nas was at 50, but then Dante was 6 for 31 in the series, 19%.
Seriously. Holy
Nikhil
shit.
was
Oh my
5
God.
for 23, 21%. So, I mean, you look at
God
ways that we
dang.
can improve with this next round coming up. And, I mean, just right there, I mean, law of averages, we're going to start we have to start shooting better.
Would you agree that if we shoot our league average, or our season average, I should say, from 3, that 4 out of these 5 games are blowouts? And it doesn't even come down to the final minutes in the 4th.
Game 1, we shot 50% from 3, so.
And it was a blowout, right?
Right, so.
Mm.
Yeah, you can't shoot that every game, but yeah, you'd like to think that we would start to approach our averages again. Yeah, I think it was such an impressive series for Ant. 27 average points, 6 assists, and I think the most important thing is he averaged 8.4 rebounds a game.
The rebounds and the assists alone for Ant to average 8 and 6 just helped so much. Holy crap.
He would have led if not for Rudy's monster game, like I did it. If you would have so what did Rudy end up with rebounds?
27 and 24 he went in game 5.
So take away 10 from that. Let's say he gets 14 rebounds in game 5.
Okay.
Ant would have led the series in rebounding.
Damn.
Anthony Edwards would have been our leading rebounder if not for Rudy Gobert's monster game. That's crazy.
And he's 23. This is great. He's doing all the right things. He's making that leap where we are winning because of him, whether he can score 40 points or not. And then game 4 he still puts up 43 in an incredible game.
And 31 assists on the series, 6 turnovers. That's also just absolutely incredible from him.
One more time.
As a primary ball handler, man. Ball handler.
Say that stat again. That's amazing.
31 assists, 6 total turnovers on the series.
Amazing. Yeah, I can't stop watching highlights. I can't stop reading any story that comes out about it, any comment section. I'm just all over it. I love this time of year. And honestly, the rest of the playoffs has been good too. So, continuing on that series, I'm wondering if Brandon was right about our jerseys. Are they actually great? if we're taking down Luka and LeBron in 5? The answer is no. Our jerseys suck.
No, I mean, the jersey's got to count for something there, right?
Brandon, thoughts?
You got to steer into it, baby. Steer into it.
We're good because of the jerseys.
Like those on ramps. You know, all around the metro in Minneapolis, Twin Cities. You got to steer right into them, or you're gonna get left behind. You got to trust me.
Nice.
Steer into it.
All right.
Pick your favorite of the ugly.
All right. Our jerseys.
You're not going to win it by being pretty. You're
jer-
not going to be winning it by being pretty.
That's a
On
good
the
point.
court or with what you're wearing.
So they're symbolic. The jerseys are symbolic. It's going to be ugly, but we're going to win.
Steer into that shit, man. You gotta love it for what it is.
Nice. Okay, I see where you're going with it a couple weeks ago, and now I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great. Ant also now, God, there's just a lot of Ant facts. Ant now holds the franchise's top 5 playoff scoring game performances. Last year with 44 points. This year with 43. Last year with 43. 2023 with 41, and last year with 40. Ant has the top 5 Timberwolves playoff scoring games, and he's 23.
Crazy.
Yep. He's also just behind Luka in playoff points or 40-point playoff games before they turn 24. Luka has 8, which is nuts. Ant I think just has this playoffs correct before he turns 24. Is that right, Jop? Off the top of your head?
Yep.
So he's got this playoffs to get 3 more, which honestly could fucking happen. So if he does that, then he ties Luka for most. Either way, he's second most at 5 already, which is nuts.
I think the next series, if they win the next series, I would clear the runway for the finals.
I agree.
Because Golden State has been playing elite.
That's the thing. I know, and of course I'm expecting that it's going to be Golden State too. And that should be a great Game 6 tonight. Looking forward to that. It will most likely be Golden State. You watch the Rockets; they're very well coached. They're very disciplined. They play incredibly hard. They're tough. They're big. They lack a number 1 option, and that helps in the playoffs. And they don't have that. They don't have the star, right? They just have a very good team. So I think it is going to be Golden State, and I do want to talk about that later as to who you guys would rather face and why. First, though, Anthony Edwards fined $50,000 for a remark made to a Lakers fan in Game 1. When I think the fan was talking shit to Rudy, and I heard this went over well in the locker room too, because he defended Rudy, saying, "Hey, he's got $200 million." Rudy corrects him, falls $300 million. And then Ann said, "Also, my dick's bigger than yours."
Nice.
Doc, I will.
Hashtag analytics.
Yes, hashtag analytics.
That's just science.
It's just science.
Jerry Jones is like, how big is it?
Wait a minute, how big?
That's where you change. That's where you change the wolf howl to a ow.
Ow!
Ow.
Nice. Exactly. So he was fined $50,000 for that. I think it was either
Worth it.
I think it was Game 3 where it was Game 3 or 4 where Luka was on video calling a Wolves fan a pussy. No fine for Luka. Agree or disagree? I don't know where they draw the line. Maybe they fined Ant because he literally grabbed his dick at the guy he was talking to, and he was talking about private parts.
That could be it.
It could be it. And I've heard Luka talk shit to fans too, but to me, it's a little wishy-washy. They're pretty dang similar, in my opinion.
If you're just taking it as analyzing them from a verbal standpoint, Luka's is worse to me. But I think you're onto something of just straight up grabbing his dick.
I feel like that's got to be it because Luka actually insulted the fan. Where I think the fan and Ant were having a good. I mean, Ant was just having fun with it, right? But I think because he said dick.
I think Ant is the bad boy of the NBA.
Kinda.
That's why all the old school basketball players love him and want him to be the face of the league. He plays like that. He's from the 90s. He's legitimately Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah,
Your favorite player's favorite player, as they say.
Yeah.
Correct.
So the NBA is just out to get him because could you imagine LeBron grabs this thing? Oh, he was just adjusting it.
God, I could see. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. And it had to have been him actually grabbing it because, okay, Ant says dick, Luka says pussy. And Luka's was intended as an insult. So I don't know. I think he should be fined too. I think neither of them should be fined. Neither of them should have been fined. And it's a little ridiculous. This is the same thing as as our series against the Nuggets, where Jamal got fined. What was it, 90,000 or 75,000 for his remarks towards officials? Didn't get fined for throwing the heat pack, and when
should have been suspended for that.
Should have been suspended. And when Rudy did the money sign, he got fined 100.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal did the same thing. Jamal did the money sign and threw a heat pack at officials. Got fined 75.
To be fair, Rudy had done he was a multiple time offender doing the money sign.
Which is correct on Rudy's part, but yes, good point. Either way, that was, I remember being very surprised about that punishment for Jamal. Not to say I disagree, I do disagree. Not to say that I don't understand why the decision was made. You got to keep Jamal Murray in that series for ratings. I think that was absolutely considered. He should have been suspended.
Yeah, but now they don't have an excuse, so
correct.
That's always nice too.
Correct. If they're fining Ant for saying dick, they got to fine Luka for saying pussy. Come on, Adam Silver. Come on.
Also, this is an explicit episode.
It sure is. Is that the episode title? Dicks and pussies?
No, definitely not.
Come on.
Explicit episode, maybe.
Yeah, okay. And also just with how often Luka's in the face of the refs. It's like the Draymond Green effect. They do it so often that refs are like used to it or something.
Yeah, so they don't get in trouble
But
for
then
it.
guys like Ant or Tatum will clap at a ref and they get teed up. It's really weird.
Well, and it's like, I don't remember what game it was. It was like game 1 or game 2 where LeBron freaked out and yelled at a ref for something.
And Ant was
and
like,
Ant's like, I get teed up for that.
I know, exactly. Yeah, yeah. LeBron said he made a pass that would have been an open dunk, but he got nudged when he made the pass, and the refs called a foul, and he said, "Now y'all gonna call that weak ass shit?" Something like that.
Yeah,
but he said it at the ref.
Yeah.
So Ant was Ant was right. Ant gets called for that all the time.
Back to the dicks v pussy thing. I think
Yes, please.
The coolest thing about that to me is something that Ant does all the time. Every single post-game interview, man, he's always repping his teammates. He's always got his teammates back. And Rudy Gobert is one of the biggest punching bags in the league.
Yes.
And he did it again at the end of the game. They have those dudes on Twitter who like isolate the audio clips, and you can hear Ant talking on the court, and he's just like, yeah, Rudy. And he's like yelling, congratulate my motherfucking teammate. Congratulate him. You dominated, Big Roo. Like, I love that shit, man. I love when he gets interviewed and he's like, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo.
Yes.
He's always about his teammates first, man.
Always cool first.
From
yeah, it's
someone of his quality of player.
And this again goes into his leadership abilities at just 23. It's always teammates first. It's something special. It really is. And I love that he's doing it for Rudy, who gets so much hate. And what's crazy is, okay, so I have this on here too, and that's the media favoritism for the Lakers. And I'm the first to admit I probably spent too much time on Reddit. And I loved living in the Lakers sub throughout this series. Even before the series started. And this has happened every year that Rudy has been in the playoffs. Rudy's getting played off the court. He can't defend the perimeter. First of all, maybe the best perimeter defending big in the league. You shook your head. Why not?
I don't
You don't even know. He actually might be, because we are comfortable putting him out there because he does well. It's crazy. And then the consensus is, nope, he's going to get played off the court. Lakers had no worry about him. And fair enough, for the first 4 games, they were correct. And then as soon as they stopped worrying about him, he made them pay. When we shot 7 of 47 from three-point land, the worst three-point shooting game in playoff history, and still won.
Yeah.
And still won. That's how much the Lakers suck and how great Rudy is.
Yeah.
I love Rudy. Where was I going with that? Somewhere. It's just total poetic justice for Rudy to put up 27 and 24, and just all the shit he was getting before the series. He's going to get played off the court. Didn't get played off the court once. Held his own on LeBron, Luka, and Reeves, and more than held his own. He stopped them more often than they scored. And I'm already seeing it from Warriors fans who haven't even advanced past the first round yet, though they're likely to, saying Rudy's going to get played off the court. Which I don't get how that's still a thing. I just don't understand how that's still a thing.
The Rudy Gobert hate is just it's a take that gets adopted by people who don't watch Rudy Gobert night in and night out. That's why Utah fans like know how good he is. That's why we know how good he is. And when you listen to people who talk, who like really study the NBA and watch the NBA every night, like everyone knows that that's not a factual thing. That's just a casual take that he gets played off the floor.
And I hate that it gets to me as much as it does, because what was it? It was game 2 or 3. Sure, we lost game 2, but we had Reggie Miller on the mic. Reggie Miller sucks on the mic as color commentator, first of all. He's bad. And every time Rudy got ISO'd, which we were okay with, we game planned for, he's like, "Oh, Luka's eyes are getting big. This is what he wants." And then Luka would pass out because Rudy's a great defender. Mm-hmm. So it's even that's what sucks is it even gets parroted by these people in the NBA, the commentators and the talking heads and whoever else. And it's just so stupid.
And
it's just
so
stupid.
here.
It stops here. Seriously. No, Doc, Rudy made that point. He said he was talking to Julius Randle in the locker room after. He said, "Hey, you and I have gotten a lot of shit all of our careers." He said, "Right now is an amazing chance to write our own history."
That's right. And it stops here at the second office. We will not be those bad reporters.
We are good reporters.
That's right.
Rudy is amazing, and Randle is also amazing.
Float it, not flush it, baby.
Float it, not flush it. God, it's so true. So true. Well, let's move right on to that. What a freaking series from Julius Randle. Seriously. He had 2 playoff series before this, I believe. And for whatever reason got labeled as a playoff choker. His first season, his first playoffs, he was the number 1 option for the Knicks. The absolute number 1 option. And to be fair to everyone's opinions, he's probably not the best number 1 option to have on a team, especially when it comes to the playoffs. He was also injured. His next playoff series, he's again coming off an injury. And then last year, Knicks playoffs, he dislocated shoulder, couldn't play at all. He is healthy going into a playoff series, and look at the impact he had. He said, "These Lakers are fucking tiny. I'm going to beat them up in the paint," and he did. He wore down LeBron all series, and I loved it. I loved his heart. I loved his hustle, his rebounding, that little step back, 8 to 10 foot fadeaway when he puts his shoulder into someone was money all series, and especially last night, Game 5.
And late Game 5 too.
Yes, late Game 5.
Needed it the most.
Incredibly clutch. And I now hope we hang on to Julius Randle. Maybe that'll change, but right now I want to keep him. Right? Yeah. He's going to opt in after this year, I would assume.
We'll see.
You know, because I don't know that he'd be able to get any more anywhere else.
If he plays this well, maybe he will.
That's what I'm saying. He's a very good passer. He's a complete bully in the paint. He's a mismatch machine. And he's a great guy. He gets along with Ant. He talks up Ant like crazy. I'm loving Julius right now. Loving Julius. When I initially loved the trade because of Dante DiVincenzo, and as shitty as he shot throughout this series, I think that was the only thing he did poorly. This dude played great defense, had great hands, a lot of tips, a lot of steals, and played tough. He beat him up too. So the trade has very much worked out for both teams so far, very much, and I like the combo of Dante and Julius in the playoffs so far, more so far than I do just having Cat.
I agree.
2's always better than 1.
Well, exactly, especially when both of those guys are getting meaningful playoff minutes. This is math.
Yeah.
And they cost less money.
God, look at us. Science, math, we're on a roll here.
Yeah, we're smart. We're smart guys. I'm telling you.
Anatomy too.
Everything. And anatomy.
I don't even know what that means.
Dicks and pussies. What do you think?
But that's biology.
I felt you there, Job. I got you.
Chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Job, are you wanting to re-sign Randle at this point? What do you think? Obviously, we got more playoff ball to go, but
Yeah, I want to just cross all the off-season stuff when we get there. I just want to. I also don't want to. I made this mistake last year of overlooking what's in front of us.
yeah,
You know,
we
I was
didn't
already-
think shit about the Mavs.
I was booking my
You and I were
finals
talking.
ticket.
Yeah, we didn't think shit about the Mavs,
You were
and
booking flights for finals.
Jop was.
I was.
Yeah, Jop absolutely was.
Yep.
Oh,
He's like, he said he was coming, and didn't work out.
Oh, I'm
Rough.
coming. I'm gonna come.
he's got those flight vouchers.
Exactly.
He saved them for a whole year.
What else do I got here?
I just got a quick little fact that I thought was interesting.
Yep.
Since the first round went to a 7-game series in 2001, I think.
Yep.
This is the third time that a 6 seed has beat a 3rd seed in 5 games. It's only happened 3 times in 25 years.
Woo. That's all I have to say to that.
Yeah,
That
I mean
feels
that's
good.
because what, like 2 games actually separated them. So
1 game.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Still a fact, baby.
That's
Still
right.
a fact. Facts are facts.
Come on, this is what we're on today. Facts of science and math and anatomy. Look at us go.
Chris Finch has got to be the greatest head coach the Timberwolves have ever had, right?
That's what I said. Did I not say that?
I'm getting to that too, Jop. I'm saving that for last. So harbor your thoughts for a sec. However, I have to touch on this. I'm not seeing it talked about enough, and I hate it even more when it's in the playoffs. As amazing as Jalen Brunson can be, he is so shitty to watch. I had my 85-year-old neighbor talk to me this morning and say, quote, "Does he ever fucking pass or stop flopping?" I said, "Sony, no, he does not." I think the same thing. But that's the case for mostly Luka and a bit of the rest of the Lakers too. LeBron and Austin. I knew we had game 5 locked up, even when the Lakers took a 2-point lead for like 20 seconds, however long it was, or when they closed the gap. I knew we had it locked up when they started relying on flopping. It never works in the playoffs, and that's why I fucking love the NBA playoffs compared to the regular season. Luka gets someone on his hip. The chin goes to the sky, and he falls away for a shot. And how many like phantom fouls they got too. Luka fell into Jaden's chest. Jaden got a foul. LeBron was setting a screen, I think, on Nah, and with zero contact at all, Reeves throws his head back, holds his chin, and it's a foul on Nah. Literally didn't touch him. LeBron trips on his teammate's foot. Julius Randle gets a foul call. It was absolutely insane, and that's when I was not worried because that never works in the playoffs. It never worked for James Harden, though it did in the regular season. He doesn't get those calls in the playoffs. It didn't work for Booker last year against us, his flopping ass.
Yeah.
And God, like I say this about all the great floppers. The great floppers are also great players. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic. They're incredible. They're absolutely incredible players, and they resort to this bullshit. They resort to it. And it makes me hate them when I wish I could like them. Job, we were watching together, and Luka pump faked like 4 times trying to get Jaden in the air. Jaden played great defense, and then he hits a one-legged fall-away swish that went like 20 feet in the air. And we're like, we will take that 100 times out of 100 over his flopping bullshit.
Yeah.
And then when he
Respect-
doesn't
I
get the
respect
foul
that.
call, exactly. And then he doesn't get the foul call, and he goes screaming at the ref.
Yep.
He can be he's very likable off the court. I love all of his interviews. I love his mean streak mentality. I love how he can just pop off and he gets fueled by the hate, very much like Ant does. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But it's these other antics that are just stupid.
Yeah, I've said this to you before. I think, people talk about the state of the current NBA and what the issue is. Like, people say there's too many threes. People say, like, there's no hand checking, which I would say is not exactly true. But
Right.
to me, the bane of the NBA right now is this style of play. It is infuriating. It's disgusting. It's so not fun to watch. It slows the game down.
It does, and I don't know why it hasn't been corrected for at this point. There is so much outward hate about it online and elsewhere, and the refs continue to reward it. And I do not understand it. I don't understand. I don't know if it comes down to the commish or what, but I don't understand how it's still a thing. Because I don't know, and I'm sure it's harder to tell in live action, but you watch the replays, and some of it is just so head scratching. A lot of the fouls that the Wolves got last game, and I'm not even saying the Wolves were reffed completely unfairly towards the Lakers. I think considering the whole series, I'd give I think the Lakers got a little more favorable reffing, but I don't think it was ultimately egregious. I thought it got egregious the second half of last game for sure. I don't understand how it has yet to be addressed when it is absolutely a detriment to the game.
I think Jalen Brunson grew his hair out to accentuate his head jerks.
So the braids go everywhere for sure. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's Harden's issue these days. His beard is so rock solid, doesn't move.
Yeah,
What
I
are we
don't know,
talking
man.
about here?
I
Talking about beards?
I thought the officiating was definitely in the Lakers' favor, but not. I agree with you. It wasn't entirely egregious. It's just the foul hunting. Luka shot 46 free throws on the whole series. LeBron shot 40. Ant had 31 and
got to the rim how many more times than both of those
probably getting
guys?
fouled more than all of them.
And he went to. I bet you the numbers show he got to the rim way the hell more than either of those two. Chris Finch made a point that in game 1 we didn't go to the foul line until there was 3 minutes left in the second quarter, or what was it? The first 20 minutes of the game, which would have been 4 minutes left in the first half. We didn't get a foul. He said that's
Great
unheard
point
of.
by a great coach.
Damn right, Chop. You're damn right. Just because I want to keep ragging on him, and because he's pretty fat, Luka's defense did us so many favors throughout the series.
Man, so like the Mavs GM was right for trading him.
Was Nico Harrison right? No, he wasn't.
No.
but he this remains the point. Trading Luka is one thing. What he got in return is where the issue lies. Like, come on. Yeah, AD's great, but he says we're building for the future.
The brow, baby.
Okay, you traded for a 33-year-old injury-prone player who hasn't played over 60 in how long?
I'm 34 and I'm still in optimal shape.
Maybe they should get you. Right?
I can't even.
Okay, good. But it's true. You got to imagine Nico Harrison is loving it right now because Luka. Look, and I'm not even going to consider his injury because he still did fine on offense. Luka looks so bad on defense, and he was able to look pretty bad last year on the Mavs because he had great defensive pieces around him, and he had very good rim protection. That was not the case this series, and it was great to see. We got by him with ease, and we hunted him, and I loved it. I loved it.
Yep, that's what we were asking for last year.
Exactly, and we let him sit in the corner and take it easy while we parked Jaden in the corner. And I think that's a big difference. We let Jaden be active on offense this series, and we hunted Luka on defense.
Yeah, Finch made an adjustment a year later. That was nice.
It took him a year, but he got it.
That's what great coaches do.
You're damn right. Okay, so the last point I would like to make about the Wolves, Jop, your thoughts on Finch going forward?
I mean, I never wanted to fire, except for the 25-point lead, the blowing game. I didn't want to fire him this year. I was saying the off-season thing.
Okay.
But I mean, you got to rock with him as far as we go at this point. I mean, if we make it to the NBA Finals, there's no arguing with the guy. I mean, I think we could have played better this series. I think there's, like Game 5, like we start, Luka gets hurt and we come out and there's no urgency to attack him in that situation. I think there's still moments that you can critique him, and I think you can totally be in the right doing that. But,
I do fully agree with that. Like you said, throughout the series, it felt like, and this not just our poor shooting, but felt like there was a lot of meat left on the bone. It felt like we had a lot of opportunities to really open up the game and get big leads. While we did a good job holding our small or medium leads, we did a great job holding those. It just felt like it felt like we could have been up 20 the whole series.
It would have just been too big to handle.
And the thing I was going crazy with you about was like there's things that I can see from my highly untrained NBA eye that work that we don't go back to, like the Ant on the right side block post up, drop the double team, kick to a wide open three.
Correct.
Back-to-back plays, it works beautifully, and then we see it one more time in the whole series. So it's just little things like that irk me, but I mean, I can't argue with Finch with beating the Lakers in 5, man.
I agree.
I think he did a great job.
I agree. Nice. Okay, just a couple more NBA related things. This one is also related to the series. Immediately after, JJ Redick starts taking shots at unnamed players, I should say. JJ Redick says the Lakers have to get into, quote, championship shape. Quote, there are individuals that were in phenomenal shape. There are certainly other ones that could have been in better shape.
He did not say that.
He did. We have to get in championship shape. He absolutely said that. And everyone knows who the hell he's talking about.
What are we doing? Why would you do that?
Everyone know. I know, right? Why would he say that? That's so true. I totally agree with that. Because everyone knows who he's talking about.
You don't say that.
Everyone knows who he's talking about. And while you can argue LeBron got gassed in the fourth of every game because he did disappear a little bit in the fourth quarters.
Well, he also didn't rotate his players the second half.
He didn't
of
rotate
games.
his players.
He's also 40.
He's also 40, and I think it was not debatable that LeBron was their best player this series, especially on defense. Especially on defense. LeBron killed us on defense.
I got stats for that.
Let's go.
Total points. Luka 151, LeBron 127.
Okay.
But Luka field goal attempts 104, LeBron 88. So
Boom.
LeBron way more efficient.
Yep.
Assists 28 for LeBron, Luka 29.
Yeah.
Rebounds 45 LeBron, Luka 35.
Yep.
With 12 offensive for LeBron, only 2 for Luka.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron 10 steals, Luka 5. LeBron 9 blocks, Luka 3.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron 13 turnovers, Luka 20 turnovers. LeBron was the better player in the series.
And if you watched it, it was no question. LeBron did not look 40. Anytime we chose to go at him, and we did this in game 4 a lot too, for whatever reason, we decided to attack LeBron a few straight possessions on defense, and it didn't work. This dude was...
That's because he's on roids.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. He spends millions on his body every year, Dakota.
Yeah.
Like Mark McGuire
Millions
and
on
Sammy
steroids.
Sosa, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, LeBron,
Allegedly.
in my opinion, far and away their best player of the series.
Allegedly.
At 40. It's crazy. He's the king, and I'm glad. I don't know. I like LeBron very much. Who do we want to play more, Houston or Golden State?
I'd rather play Houston just to avoid all the bullshit that's going to come from playing Golden State.
I know, that's the
Draymond.
thing. Exactly. But this is also why I would rather beat Golden State, because first of all, Ant can continue his Kingslayer streak.
Mm-hmm.
Right? First gets rid of KD and Booker, and then Jokic and Murray. Brandon, stop. And now Luka and LeBron. And what if he gets rid of Curry next round? That'd be insane. It would just be so cool. It'd be a great story. But yes, I agree. There will be, I don't know, with the Rockets too, there'd be bullshit. Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, we could deal with him.
I agree. We'll have the Warriors have a much better defense than the Lakers, and they have a much better version of small ball. So it would be a much tougher series. However, Curry has a sprained thumb right now, so maybe that would help us. I don't know. Can't wait to watch a game tonight.
I think the Timberwolves are going to win the next series regardless of who they play.
In 4.
Yes, Brandon. Yes. Yes. In 4 even?
Shouldn't be worried about anybody.
Let's go. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for talking basketball.
6-6.
Okay, I'll take it, Brandon.
6.
I'll take it. I appreciate it.
666.
Yeah, of the beast, the Timberwolf beast.
Yeah.
Let's go. Sorry.
Ow.
Okay, Brandon. Ow. Brandon, your Bucks.
No.
Just they don't have. Poor Giannis did everything in his power. He's amazing. Had an MVP like season. Didn't have the team around him, and Damian Lillard fucks up
Poor
his.
Dame.
I know,
Yeah.
seriously, fucks up his Achilles. And now with that Buck squad, they're now paying 36 or 37-year-old Damian Lillard coming off a torn Achilles, $60 million.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you got to wonder if
Giannis gets shipped to L.A.
something like that, I think you got to watch him and maybe Jokic
San
this year.
Antonio.
Yeah, the Spurs. Seriously, though. I think Giannis, he did say that it would be up to the organization if they sent him.
Mm-hmm.
He did say something like
he said that they would have to kick him out.
exactly. Yep. So he won't ask out, which is amazing, and I hope for that fan base he stays there his whole career.
So he will go to LA for 2 firsts. Hoochie Mama.
Man, seriously, what the fucking Hoochie Mama all series long couldn't miss from 3. Where did he come from? What was that? I loved every time we watched, and Alex would say, "What is this guy's problem?" He would splash the most timely threes to keep him in the game. Great series from him. He was the only help that LeBron or Luka got. Honestly, Reeves disappeared. Reeves was no factor at all.
Well, that's fine. He won't be on the team next year because Giannis will be.
No, and a lot of people are saying Reeves might not be either. So you start with Reeves, Rui, and a first. That's
2 firsts.
I mean, I'm just saying that's the start of a trade package.
Yeah.
It was a good run for the past 10 years.
And you guys got a championship with him. Regardless of what happens, that's incredible.
You know, I think the whole fan base is just grateful to have been through this, and we've appreciated it. We're happy he's taking the very mature and professional stance he's taking. He said, he said the other day, after they lost, he's like, "I'm making good money right now, doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for more. You know, if I can stay here, I'd like to stay here, but it's a business, and he understands that too." So,
yeah,
you know, I love his the way he carries himself, and
love everything
as a
about
professional
Giannis.
basketball. Yeah, he's a good dude. So
exactly.
wish him the best, and I hope he stays. But if he doesn't, I hope he lands someplace where he can win many championships.
That's the thing.
He definitely deserves it.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I think
That's
at this
a good
point,
perspective to have.
it is, and I think at this point you couldn't even necessarily be mad at the franchise if they opt to get a haul for Giannis, thinking their window was closed. Because as Giannis,
I think it's the right thing to do.
They have to.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do for him and for the organization.
Is he 30 at this point? Is he 30 now?
He's older than that.
How old is he?
31 maybe.
30. He is 30.
30.
And will be 31 in December.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's a superstar. I want him to. I'm always going to be a fan of his, no matter what jersey he's wearing.
Hall of Famer.
Yep, Hall of Famer for sure.
He'll get his Milwaukee statue for sure.
Yes, as he should.
Yep. And I hope beyond his career too, Milwaukee brings him back and makes him a part of the organization. I think that would be awesome.
Well, and he's also said, and this much is true, the organization has done a lot for his family.
Yeah.
Signing his younger brother, first of all.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them, right?
Yeah.
So, like they did not need to do that, and from a basketball perspective, shouldn't have done that.
Nope.
but
So,
they did, and he appreciated it. So.
I thank you, Giannis. You've made watching Bucks basketball fun for the past decade. I went to one of your first games when you were brought up by Milwaukee.
We young lad.
I heard about him from my dad. My dad couldn't say his name, and he's like, "This guy will be pretty good in a couple of years." It was when he was a rookie, and watching him as a lanky 14th overall pick, and have a couple good games here and there, I was like, I don't know, he can't shoot. Doesn't matter. He's incredible.
Yeah, when my wife and I lived in Green Bay, she worked for the company that runs the Lambeau Fields concession stands and staffing and all that stuff, and they also did the Bradley Center at the time in Milwaukee. So they got us a box one time just because they had tickets to it, and so we went down there, and it was one of Giannis's first games as a Buck, and they had his shoe size in the in the box, and I watched him play, and he was super skinny at the time, super tall and skinny, but you could tell then he was going to be something special, and he's turned out to be nothing but that. So
Incredible.
Again, we thank you for your blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, here, round of applause for Giannis.
He's got a lot of career left too, but my underrated, like, nasty poster dunker, man. Like, when he was first starting to get like bulked up, like he would have the nastiest dunks.
He jumped over someone on an alley-oop. It's one of the greatest highlights I've ever seen. That's right. He right over his head. He put his nutsack on top of Hardaway Jr.'s head and threw down a one-handed alley-oop. One of the greatest plays I've ever seen. Just insane.
Also one of the greatest finals, like individual final games of all time. That closeout game against Phoenix.
The greatest block I've ever seen. That's better than blocked by James.
Ooh.
I think it is. As far as like just being impressive. Not necessarily, like, I don't know, but equal circumstances, right? And Giannis turned around in time to, oh my, because I thought he was beat. I watched that live. I thought he was beat. I was like, that's an alley-oop. I said he's getting it. Giannis turned his back to the ball and just timed it. I think that's better than blocked by James. It didn't have as good of a call, though it was a great call. You guys got to yawn right into the mic every time.
I'm sleepy, man. Man, you just got to let everybody know.
I think I like that block better than blocked by James.
You are entitled to your opinion.
I think they're top two, though.
I agree with that.
We'll also say I remember watching game, was it 7 against the Nets when they had Kyrie, Harden, and KD the year they won the championship, and seeing KD's toe half an inch over the 3-point line.
Yeah,
Oof, that was an incredible series. That was crazy. And then Giannis hyperextends his knee, comes back 2 games later, puts up 50 points.
Man, you must have never been hit in your head.
Why?
You just remember so much. Like, I
Weird things, right?
hardly remember the movie I watched earlier today.
Don't tell Emily because she gets
I've killed
upset at those things.
a lot of brain cells.
I've killed a lot of people that I don't remember.
I don't remember.
If you don't remember, did you really do it?
Did you really do it though? Oh man. Okay. You guys want to talk about? Am I missing anything?
Let's talk NFL.
You're definitely not missing anything.
Wait. I want to shout out the Cavs real quick because I loved the shit that they were talking to Tyler Hero. I love
seriously. Yeah, honestly, Tyler Hero bugs me for some reason. So I am cheering for Cavs out of the East, and I will say of the remaining playoff teams that I would be most scared for the Wolves to face, it's Boston and Cleveland, more so than OKC.
So who's going to make the finals?
I don't know.
I want it to be Cleveland and the Timberwolves so bad. I want it to be them so bad.
That'd be really cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if
we'd have correspondents in both towns.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it'd be very cool.
Those are the two teams. Come to Cleveland.
I would love to.
I know a guy that runs a hotel just a couple blocks away.
Could you get us a sweet rate?
I think I could work something out.
Nice. Those would be the 2 teams I'm most worried about, more so than any Western Conference teams. They just play so fast and are such good 3-point shooting teams, where we're more controlled and methodical, it seems. And I don't know. I feel like the Wolves should run more. I think they need to run more.
Donovan Mitchell has been unstoppable. He has been just a manic.
Yeah, he's
paint.
he's playing pretty perfect. And then they got the Defensive Player of the Year, right? Like, yeah, they look awesome.
Yeah, you can't really stop a lot of PPs out there.
Nice. Okay. So our last episode, we got to touch on the first round of the draft, an absolute blast, and we were both very happy coming out of it.
Yes.
NFL, you ready, Doc?
I don't know.
So, let's do a little pick by pick, and we'll start with the pack. We'll start with the cheese. Cool. And I just want your opinions. Here's some notes. I'll follow these guys. We touched on it last week, but again, being it's the first wide receiver taken in how dang long over the past however many decades. Brandon, first round pick, Matthew Golden. How you feeling a week later?
Oh, I love it. The more I think about this and the more I'm hearing about him, he is all in on being a Green Bay Packer. He's excited. Matt LaFleur, his staff, they are super excited about having him as an offensive weapon. There's so many things they can scheme up with him. And he can play in any position. He can play on the outside. He can play in the slot. He can play everywhere. He can play running back if you need him to. But I don't think they're going to need that because they've got my boy Savion Williams, who's going to be a Deebo Samuel reincarnation.
And he was their third rounder, correct?
He was their third round pick.
Third rounder, and he's gonna. He's Deebo-esque. Is that what you're saying?
He's a big boy.
Yeah, I watched about 3 minutes of his highlights and.
Big boy?
I couldn't believe he made it to the third round.
Really? Son of a gun. Savion. Cool name.
Yeah, and the Packers, like I said before the draft, and they didn't have like a crazy big need for much. They just picked the best available player on the board. And at the time, Matthew Golden was just like dangling in front of them, yes, let's do that, especially in front of their home crowd for the first time in 22 years. Let's go. In the second round,
Well, you're not doing
you know-
it justice. I mean, that's not who Goot initially wrote down on the card. Murphy just got too excited up there in front of the fans, and he's like, I'm going to go out in style.
I love that.
He threw the card away, and he said, we're taking a receiver.
I hope that's the case.
And Golden was the only one's name he knew how to pronounce.
I hope that's the case. That'd be great.
He was sober enough to pronounce.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah,
I
he
have a
was fired
hot
up.
take, though. I actually think Matthew, I might be tipping my hand here for our dynasty drafts, but I actually think Matthew Golden is the best wide receiver in this draft.
Ooh.
Okay, best for fantasy or just best receiver?
Both.
Was he the third wide receiver taken?
Correct if
Yes.
you count Travis Hunter as a receiver.
Gotcha. Okay, and then it was the Ohio State guy.
Yep.
Abuka.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and then him.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Look at it's funny with the first round wide receivers. A lot of times it has been the later guy who ends up being the best, and maybe I'm only thinking of Jefferson's draft.
I mean, that's a pretty big one.
But before Jefferson
They took Rager?
was Jalen Rager, also Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
A great
I mean-
wide receiver class still.
I mean,
but-
jury's still out on Henry Ruggs.
hey, he's trying to make a return according to Josh Jacobs.
jury-
He's training in. He's nice. I actually have that on here. According to Josh Jacobs, who for some reason knows what Henry Ruggs is doing.
Well, they were
Are
in Vegas together. They were good friends.
Oh,
Jacob
gotcha.
still talks to him every day. I actually brought this up to Brandon earlier. I said, you know, the prison, as nice as they can be, they're letting Ruggs still work out for NFL shape, whatever that means.
Packers Josh Jacobs says former wide receiver Henry Ruggs III trains while in prison, hopeful for second chance in the NFL. How long is he in prison? I know he's still
they
young.
think he can get out like in a year. I asked Brandon today if he thought the Packers would sign him because of the connection.
Don't think so. I think
I think a lot of teams are going to stay away for the optics, but not to say
He served his time. You can't.
I
this
was
is
just about
my-
to say not to say he doesn't deserve a second chance.
This is my point here, right? Like you if people serve their time and they got out, then why not? Tyreek Hill has never been suspended.
fuck really. Oh my god!
Like, so what are
probably
we
should have been a few times.
right? Like, so you can't. The NFL can't justify letting Tyreek Hill
That's so true.
play, Adrian Peterson play, or let Michael Vick come back after his
I think some of those are different.
after
though.
his.
Ruggs killed a lady and a dog. Killed a dog.
Okay, but he did his time.
Adrian didn't kill anyone. Tyreek hasn't killed anyone. Fuck Tyreek Hill. But he didn't
That we
kill
know
anyone.
of.
He didn't kill it. Okay, fair enough.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. Okay, good point,
Definitely
job.
killed somebody.
Okay, good point, job.
Touche,
Yep,
yeah.
yep, touche. Good job, job. Okay.
He probably did his little dance after he murdered him too.
Yeah, I
Knee
think
slapped it. Fuck.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Excuse me.
Oh my god.
I think Ruggs will get a second chance in the NFL. I really do.
I think someone will
he'll get
take a
second
shot.
chance in
Probably the
NFL.
Browns, but
You
someone
know,
will give him a shot.
he'll pin himself together with a team that's just used to this kind of thing. I mean, there's got to be a team
So he's
that
going back to
leads
Vegas.
leads in a